Secretary, read the resolution.
Senate Resolution 919 by Senator Hodges of the 3rd and others, a resolution congratulating and commending the Coastal Area District Development Authority Incorporated upon its 50th anniversary and for other purposes. Whereas CADDA is a nonprofit corporation established in 1976 with a mission to provide economic development lending programs to small businesses and industries expanding or locating in Georgia, North Florida, and the low country of South Carolina to improve the economic conditions of the region through the creation and retention of jobs. And whereas CADDA has funded more than 1,300 small business loans, helped to invest over $526 million into communities throughout coastal Georgia and beyond, and supported the creation and retention of more than 9,300 jobs. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate that the members of this body congratulate the Coastal Area District Development Authority Incorporated upon its 50th anniversary, commend it for its many outstanding contributions on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, and extend best wishes for its continued growth, development, and success. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Is there objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Recognize the senator from the 3rd to introduce our special guest. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, it is my pleasure today to have representatives here from the Coastal Area District Development Authority, which is a rather unique organization that has some interesting history. Back in the 70s, in the mid-70s, as you might imagine, in coastal Georgia, we have a number of seafood processors, and one of them was a company called CPAC. CPAC at the time was originally started by some individuals, and it was sold a couple of times, and it came under the ownership of the W.R. Grace Company, a conglomerate that was in a number of businesses. Well, W.R. Grace went through a reorganization and decided that they were going to sell CPAC. And a gentleman named Vernon Martin, a dear friend of mine who has since passed, was with, at the time, what was called the Coastal Area Planning and Development Commission. I think they're now called Coastal Regional Centers. But Vernon had an idea. He went to the economic development folks in Washington and said, we sure would like to keep this business local, and if you will, I will help set up an employee stock ownership program, an ESOP, if we can get a loan from the federal government to fund the purchase of this company from W.R. Grace. The EDA folks approved it, and the company was saved. It wasn't closed and it wasn't sold. And then Vernon had another idea. He said that the ESOP, these employees are going to make payments on this, I think it was a $6 or $8 million loan at the time. And he went back to the EDA and said, if you will allow these payments to go into a fund, we will make sure that we lend this money to local small businesses, and we'll get the banks to participate. And as a banker in Glenn County and in coastal Georgia, I participated in this program for many, many, many years, and it was very, very successful. That program has, over the years, 50 years, has loaned over $500 million to local businesses, and it's saved and created something like 9,000 to 10,000 jobs. So I have Terry Lout today representing the Coastal Area District Development Authority, and I'm going to ask Terry to step forward, say a few words, introduce the people with him, and then I hope we'll all give them a big happy birthday.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Senator. With me is Amy Anderson, Rosemarie Drake, Caleb Schaefer, and Mary Lauk. I want to thank you. 50 years, 1,300 businesses, 9,300 jobs is not possible without our partners and your support. The EDA, the SBA, the USDA, and countless banks have helped made this possible. CADDA sincerely appreciates this recognition, and we look forward to the next 50 years. Thank you.